To be among this community, and I say thank you for being here. My name is Jill Dianne Bittinger. I am the founder of Transformed Education, The Key of Connection, and I have just come out with this book, Teaching with the Soul in Mind. It is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and it is to basically recognize that the signs of times are upon us. And it's time to consider a philosophy of education to help answer to the complex ethical challenges that we face, and time to teach with the soul in mind. Take a moment to look at this. Here we go. I'm changing mine, but you guys are not seeing yours. Let's go. Okay, there we go. All right, my website is transformededucation.com. Connecting content, community, and the creative spirit. So take a moment to look at this slide and just think for yourself, does this slide have anything to do with education? Notice your feelings and your thinking. What stirs within you? Why are we here? Each of us has our own story that is our personal journey. Sharing those stories is effective and powerful. What are the themes that run through them? The cascading crises of the day drive home the fact that we cannot ignore and call us to consider our global story. Allow yourself to wonder, to consider the big questions. Our educational conversation today calls us to consider not only the intellect, but also the heart. We are called to consider the soul. No matter what your belief system, it is the spiritual essence that animates your being, carrying the reason and wisdom within your personal journey. While we each have our individual path, we also have a collective path. Who am I? Why am I here? I forget to change both of these. I've got to do both. So there we are, wondering. Who am I? Why am I here? These questions of our evolutionary story will be explored in part 2. But for now, let's recognize that the tremendous times of change are upon us, and how we shape this change collectively affects us all. There is our call for our conscious evolution. I had put a 30-minute presentation together. It was too long, so I divided it into 2 parts. I will be putting these on a YouTube channel, and they will be available through my website. We nurture our young with lasting intention. In their education, we hope for them to have the very best. What is best depends on who is holding the perspective. Let the best attend to the emotional as well as the intellectual. From the Latin word inspirare, we breathe into and inspire the outer expression of the inner spirit within. Creative potential yearns to express through each one of us, if only empowered to do so. What new understandings do we need to reach for? What do we need to reach for in order to break through instead of break down? Breaking through to new understandings that will regenerate our planet and its people. There is a call for educational leaders to show the way. Those whose lives have been devoted to children understand the ways of the heart, the doorway to the soul. In my work as teacher and education program supervisor, I've been fortunate to peer into a wide variety of educational environments. I have come to have deep respect for the power of educational values that relate and connect to the spirit within. Pioneers like Maria Montessori helped give us this vision. The child is endowed with unknown powers which can guide us to a radiant future. If what we really want is a new world, then education must take at its aim the development of these hidden possibilities. For me personally, I came from a background of multicultural dance education in New York, and then found my way into Montessori education for 15 years. And now I'm serving as a teacher of teachers through Teacher Preparation College. And I'm really inspired still to bring the Maria Montessori work to the larger vision, especially just with simple tools that could be incorporated into public and charter school environments. She started this pathway over 100 years ago, and you can see the significance that she made by having Montessori schools all over the world now. And so following that lead is a valuable path to take, and she really first introduced talking about the spirit of the child. So she understood that the spirit of the child, as each one of us, exists within the spirit of the child, and all of us exists the spark of a cosmic creator. In this awareness, it enriches life, deepens its meaning, and connects us with our soulful selves. Oh, that was... My business is actively seeking leaders as collaborators and co-creative community to team together to create tools to share this message. The key of connection is about connecting with your own soulful self, connecting with one another in the classroom community, school community, and global community. I welcome you to be in touch. The world is calling for us to reach out to this new understanding, where kindness, community, and connection lead the way. When we feel connected to each other and to our planet, we can heal the seen and unseen wounds. Belonging and significance are the hidden weight to the tip of the iceberg education can play in our personal story, one that includes home and hearth, where the journey of human education begins. It starts in the home, community grows from there. As Thich Nhat Hanh helps us to see, we are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. When we open to this view, the doors of possibility open wide. How do we awaken to that understanding? We connect to ourselves, to nature, to each other. The leading edge science of heartmath.org validates this understanding. Through their research and technologies, we are given a path to influence education on a global scale. Based on the hard science of empirical research, we are empowered to make a difference through the technology and practice of heart coherence. HeartMath.org has developed tools to measure our resonant magnetic frequency. Through this science, they measure heart coherence, revealing the power of harmony that comes from connectivity. Each of us is putting out an energy that others feel and respond to. We are wired for connection on the me, we, and global scale. We can see that connection is the golden thread that provides the personal, social, and global direction for our future. Where do we begin? With one of the most challenging journeys that we can make, from our head to our heart. The quality of neural information sent from the heart to the brain has profound influences and affects the brain, says Dr. McCready. It affects how well we're able to think, our ability to self-regulate, maintain our composure, and inform our emotional experience. Dr. Roland McCready serves as the head of research at HeartMath Institute. He brings his background in electrical engineering and leads the way in understanding the important unifying principle termed coherence to fully understand mental and emotional health. In his teachings, How Love Connects Us, the Science of Global Coherence and Interconnectivity, we learn of the heart brain. The heart literally has an intrinsic nervous system. It's now called the little brain in the heart or the heart-brain. Children and adults alike have needs beyond being wired technologically or information fed to their brains alone. Maria Montessori believed education should be as an aid to the spirit of life as it finds expression in the human species. As we bring this soulful message into the application in education, a very simple tool is from the Montessori teaching, Making Silence. Applicable to even the youngest of learners in any environment, it is a practice in mindfulness. I invite you to participate with me now. So, one of the things that's very useful about the Montessori strategy is sitting down in a circle, side by side, eye to eye with the children. And it's healthy for the body, keeps your hips open. I invite you to do it. I know that we're in our chairs right now, so I'll just imagine, or if you want to sit on the floor, you can. But you're taking yourself into a meditative state. Mindfulness, basically, is the buzzword these days. But we're going to all do this together, and we're going to say these words. So you can leave your legs uncrossed if you like, but if you're sitting on the floor, you start with, I cross my legs. I place my hands on my knees. I make my back very straight. And the children are always going to be repeating this. Actually, let's go ahead and try repeating it, beginning with, I make my back very straight. So we go, I make my back very straight. I tell my body to be still. I tell my mouth to be quiet. I take a deep breath. I make silence. I close my eyes. I make silence and feel my love. And a beautiful closing song comes like this as we come to the Namaste position. And it's Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. Namaste, namaste, namaste. So just join in as you feel able. It goes, Namaste. Ready? Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. Namaste, namaste. Namaste. It's a beautiful bridge to the culture of India from where the word originates, namaste. It can also be a beautiful bridge to the cultural language that you choose to put it in. As they become familiar with that ritual in the beginning of class or whenever, that it would be also a time like, okay, now we're going to do it in Spanish, now we're going to do it in Hindi, whatever it is that would bridge for cultural understanding in your particular situation. That cultural understanding is one petal of a peace flower with 5 petals from Maria Montessori's teaching and curriculum of the peace flower. We can see that there's 5 petals. The self is a starting place, beginning with activities like that, understanding and connecting to your own self, body, mind, and soul. And then the cultural, connecting to the world's people. Also community, your local community, and understanding the classroom community and how we can influence that and make a difference, starting just with how we speak to each other. The planetary petal is really understanding we've only got our one planet and we'd better take care of it, and how will we work together to do so. And the environment is building personal relationships with animals and nature. For peace to have a chance to take root in our lives, it is an inside job first. Only by bringing mind and heart, feelings and actions, do we begin to integrate the knowledge and experiential base where we can become responsive rather than reactive. The distinction implies the willingness and wisdom to simply take a breath, to become still, to go within, and reflect. Whoops. The peace table is a foundational part of any successful classroom, Montessori classroom, and it is a concept that can also fit into public or private educational classrooms. When implemented to its fullest capability, children are empowered to know how to direct themselves to resolve issues that arise between them. As a playground supervisor, I can tell you it's a very big difference when a teacher just like, all right, time out, you there, versus, oh, seems like you might need to go do the peace path. You might need to go visit the peace table. Peace rows, you take turns, you share from your point of view. I feel this way. I felt really hurt when you didn't want to play with me. And then the other person says, reflective listening. Oh, I hear that you were hurt because I didn't want to play with you. But I really wanted to play with Susie today. Oh, and then the rose comes back. Oh, so you wanted to play with Susie today, but does that mean you're not my friend? Oh, no, you were scared I didn't want to be your friend? I want to still be your friend. Basic reflective listening that could benefit our own personal relationships tremendously if we would simply take the time to validate and listen to what is being said, and then moving from there with conscious choice. These concepts are illuminated in my book, which is also available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, and my website, transformededucation.com. The title, Peace Education, Our Time is Now. Let's not forget that an essential element of the peace flower is to feel connection with the natural world. There are so many ways to integrate this into the learning experience if we simply value it enough. I was fortunate to work at the Modern Academy Cancun, where these pictures are taken, and we had the animals, and we also had just the natural environment of the birds around. And so let's get to know our birds that are in our own backyard. Let's get to know the insects in our backyard, and working with what's already around you. I've been thrilled also to make connections with people who are all about being able to connect with nature, and I want to really acknowledge that your work here too as well, Brindley. How do you say your name? Brandolyn. She's a good nature girl to talk to. Through a visionary leadership like the Earth Charter organization, we are given tools and an ethical framework, visioning the well-being of all. The vision states, we stand at a critical moment in Earth's history. It is imperative that we, the people of the Earth, declare our responsibility to one another, to the greater community of life, and to future generations. How do we reinvent the planet? David Gershon weighs in on the calling for the change in the summit, Reinventing the Planet, a bottom-up grand strategy. He states, allow yourself to dream and ask, why not? Gershon calls us to the reinvention process, designing to change solutions that can flourish. What empowers people to want this is to provide people with a compelling vision of a better life and give them the tools to achieve it. Gershon dedicates his book, Social Change 2.0, to those called to the great adventure of reinventing our world. I answered, and so I can see, have you. In order to have our vision of what can be possible, we must have imagination. To change the world, we create a better system that makes the old one obsolete. Essential to this process is the ability to imagine into a new way and practice in the art of creating something new. Thus, the arts offer us an essential pathway in practice in the imagination. On the Department of Education website, the standards for the arts are viewed as essential. They provide students with the means to think, feel, and understand. Educational leaders have been calling for the integration of higher order thinking skills, synthesis, analysis, reasoning, and communication with the creative expression skills of the creative arts. The role of imagination is a keystone in the goal of engaging self-confidence, aspiration, and potential for one's contribution. The arts are acknowledged for both their intra- and interpersonal value. They assist in expanding perspectives and respecting others' values. They also assist in outward expression of the inner spirit, a door to the soulful self. How would our world change if collectively we understood that we affect our material reality through our thoughts, feelings, and energy? How would this understanding affect the design system of education? We are in a time of collective awakening, willing to look deeply into the reality of the kind of world that we are leaving for our children. Let us imagine into the highest possibilities that fortify them with more than knowledge alone. Let us give them an empowered vision of themselves as connected and significant to the well-being of the planet and their unique and special contribution to it. Transformed Education is a portal for your contribution. Reach out and connect, support our efforts, share what you have to contribute. We're building the community. Thank you so much. And I would like to invite you to just turn to your table mates for 2 minutes. We're going to do 2 minutes and say what ways you think that you could introduce or experience already soulful education. And just see if you can find ways that could make just a slight difference right from where you're at as a starting place right now. So 2 minutes. Thank you.
To cultivate joy that is everlasting.
Oh, thank you so much. What a profound difference, right? Versus like, oh, I got that. Well, I hope we get to, what is your name of the website? Okay, because the joy really is an essential part, much more beyond the shiny new object and like, look what I got. It's really cultivating that joy. And that was my experience in so many of my classrooms that gave me the motivation to want to share like that connection, the difference it makes, because I've seen the environment and understand, how important it is to feel significant and important. And that's what we really all crave. It comes down to that because it is a soulful journey that we are not on here alone. And that when we can understand the value and importance of community and cultivating that with knowledge, intention, and love, we do make the world a better place. And it can start right where we are at, each one of us. Thank you for your time and attention. Thank you so much.